Each one of you have your own promised land, a land of blessing and success to step into in each one of your lives. Jesus said that he came to give us life in abundance. So in this short video, I'm going to talk about how each one of you can step into your promised land. There will be so many disappointments on the way, but Jesus wants our lives to be effective and not defective. Before you can step into your promised land, the first thing is we have to know the purpose of our lives. You have to know the purpose of your life, or else it's very hard to step into the promised land. I read a story about a rich man who wants to give a beautiful gift that outshines all the other gifts to his mom on her birthday. So he selected this beautiful bird. This bird has the vocabulary of 4,000 words and it can speak in 3 languages. So he thought that this gift will be so outstanding for my mom's birthday. So very surprisingly, he sent the gift that delivered to her house on her birthday. The next day, he called his mom and he said, "Mom, how was your gift?" And you know what that mom said? "Oh, honey, that gift was beautiful. Thank you. That was delicious." I hope you understood the point here. He didn't mean the gift to be delicious, right? So that's what happens when we don't know the purpose of our lives. So we need to know the purpose. So some of you must be wondering, how can I know the purpose of my life? The simple answer I can give you is whatever your passions are, that is where your potential, your gifts are to be successful in this life, to step into your promised land. You will know your talents, you know your passions. That is where your gifts are, and that's where your purpose is. These days, the airports are so crowded that sometimes you sit in a flight and you're on the runway taxiing for a much longer time than actually you're flying. You feel that you're stuck in that runway, you're stuck in that flight. No services are given, you have to turn off all your cell phones, you cannot use your laptops, nothing. You're just stuck sitting there and the flight is just on the ground still. And then comes a point where your pilot is given the signal that the path is clear and the flight can take off. See, in that moment, actually, the pilot can decide whether he wants to take off or he wants to go round and round and round, right? Once the pilot decides to take off, zoom, the flight is in the air and you are on your way to reach the destination, the promised land. You have to take off. Many times we are in that situation also in our lives. We are stuck at a place going round and round and now round, not knowing when we have to take off. Actually in the Bible, we all know the familiar story of the Israelites. They were in the desert traveling to the promised land, and they were in the desert for 40 years. Actual travel is only 11 days. But they were going round and round and round. But for all those rounds, there's also a purpose. But then they come to a place called Gilgal. That is the place where they have to decide whether they want to go to the promised land or to stay back in the desert. Under the leadership of Joshua, some people decided to go to the promised land and some people decided to stay back. You know why they decided to stay back? Because the promised land is not a familiar comfort zone for them. It's very unfamiliar and they have so many fears because they have to fight some battles. The people are like giants. But what they forgot was, they forgot the promise that God gave them, that God is going to take care of all those battles. And what they're looking at is the people who stayed back, they're looking at the problem, but they're not looking at the God who is going to solve their problem, fight their battles. But some of the people under the leadership of Joshua, they knew their God, they trusted their God. They thought that, okay, this is the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey that God is going to give us. We know we have to face some giants there. We know we have to fight some battles, but we are taking off because it's God who fights your battle. And that's the decision you and I have to make today, friends. Friends, remember, the promised land is right in front of you. and God will take care of you to fight the battles. So don't hesitate to fulfill the purpose that God has for you in your life, because that is the promised land, a land with abundance, with land with blessing. Don't get stuck in Gilgal. All the time, all the years you were stuck. It's the plan that God is teaching you. God is providing for you. God is doing everything. But now God gave you a choice to decide to be on your own, making the right choices and step into the promised land. Satan will weaken you. Satan always wants to destroy your dreams and wants to kill you. But let me tell you, God will open the door that's closed in front of you. The Bible says that once God opens the door for you, friend, no one can close that door for you. You will walk in the abundance of blessing. That is the plan God has for you and me, to walk in the abundance of blessing. Don't worry about the battles that you have to fight. God will fight your battles. You just walk. I love the eagles, because the eagles, once they take off, they just go higher and higher till they reach their destination. They are not worried. Even sometimes their feathers, they might lose their feathers, but still they are so focused. Maybe the clouds come, the turbulence might come. They go above the troubles because they trust. They have some trust, they have some confidence, and they reach their destination. I want you to remember eagles. I pray that, and I pray that you have the faith and trust in the Lord to reach the promised land, that where you will receive the blessing, the abundance of everything you desire for in this life. I pray that you will reach your destination. God bless you. If this short video blessed you, make sure to share with others and also subscribe to see more videos.